What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another live stream. And today we are early. We're kind of early. We're kind of late. We're like 2 minutes late on the scheduled time. But we have your favorite. You have been requesting her to come back. And her name is Jedi Bunny, better known as Kelly. Kelly, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm great. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know you've been running around. We were trying to get everything scheduled. We've been talking about doing this for like several days now, and you've been busy. And so we tried to schedule today, and then you're like, wait, I can't make it by 3 p.m. your time because you just moved out to the West Coast, so you're still trying to understand the time zones and everything. But like a true soldier, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna rush home. She literally just got home, and we're here and we are ready to go. So I want to thank you for joining us and going out of your way to make it happen.
Absolutely. It's totally worth it. You guys are the best. Jeremy, you're the best. And I'm so sorry for mixing up my times. I'm still somewhere in the wrong time zone, apparently. So
no problem. So there's a lot of stories going around today. The number one thing that a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about is this news with this YouTube channel that was deleted. I'm not super familiar with the channel. It's a big channel though, and the name of the channel it's Shirako, Shirrako. It's a gaming YouTube channel, over 500,000 subs, and apparently they were doing some gameplay with Red Dead Redemption, which is an open world game, which you can pretty much do anything. It's just like GTA basically. And so there was a video that went viral where they were apparently punching these feminist women in the game. It was, meant for comedy. YouTube deemed it as promoting violence, and the channel has been deleted, wiped out completely, without any warnings or anything like that, to my knowledge. Now, I don't know all the details. I'm not going to pretend to know the details, but it's kind of crazy considering what happened with the Ralph Retort, another YouTube channel that was deleted off the face of the earth just a few days ago. I'm not going to pretend to know the details. I don't really know. All I can speak to is my direct communication with YouTube in reference to my situation. And while it took an act of God for me to actually contact them, once I got in contact with them, they've been really helpful and they've been really good with me. Now, I'm very respectful when I talk to them. I'm going out of my way to show them I appreciate their time. I don't know how these people are communicating with YouTube when something happens. I don't know. But YouTube needs to draw a line to let us know what we can and can't do. And I don't have a problem with that. It's YouTube's platform. Like I've said, they're not forcing us to be here. We're here because of the infrastructure and the reach that they allow us to get our voices out there. So it's technically like a job. And so it's just one of those things. The problem is they need to be more transparent and draw a line so we know where to cross it. And so it kind of goes into a lot of the bigger things that we talk about. I know you are a fan of Jordan Peterson, Kelly, and, and a lot of the stuff that he discusses, and it seems like it's censorship, but again, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know the details, but it is very worrisome. I'm going to look more into it. I know you don't really have a lot of knowledge on this particular situation, Kelly, but if you guys have more questions about that, please let me know. I'll give you my honest answer about it, but that's all I really know at this point. And Makita Gut says, thank you, Jedi Bunny. Super chat for you.
Oh, thanks, Makita. I have to sign into my my YouTube right now so I can thank you properly and not butcher your name. Let's see if I can find this. Oh,
turn that volume down a little bit.
Oh, Makita Gut.
Yeah.
Oh, my volume?
Yeah, well, just on the on your phone.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was playing. Oh my gosh.
No, you're good.
See,
you're good.
Completely out of it right now. That's probably why it was echoing before. Makita Gut, thank you.
And Wolfman Jack says, did I miss something? Why are SJWs called NPCs now? Yeah, Wolfman Jack, you missed a lot. As a matter of fact, here's what I'll do for you, buddy, because I'm not going to go through the whole thing here on my live stream. Let me go back to a video I made a couple of weeks ago, and this will give you all the details. The title of the video is Say Goodbye to SJWs and Hello to NPCs. So I think that will give you some insight on it. How have you missed this one, Wolfman Jack? I'm shocked that you missed that one. I've been talking. This is like the 5th video I've made on this topic. So there we go. All right. So there's the video. Now there's another story I want to talk about. We always hear about toxicity in the fandom and how something's toxic because somebody has an opinion on a movie. And I've long said, if you think that anything going on in geek culture is toxic because somebody was mean to you online or they said something mean, you aren't built for sports fandom. Now, something awful happened over the weekend. Now, I wasn't aware of this incident until today, but apparently during the LSU-Alabama game, there was at a bar, which is somewhere I don't go for these reasons. Alcohol involved, people get crazy, they get worked up, emotions. 2 LSU fans beat the hell out of an Alabama fan over a football game. And the Alabama fan was put in the hospital, and today he died due to injuries from that fight. Now that is fucking bullshit. That is unacceptable in every single aspect. And so, we can't accept violence. We can't accept this type of stuff. This is crazy. Like this dude's like in his mid-40s and he's dead now. He's dead. And all because people were drinking. They were taking shit too seriously. Like, I'm the biggest sports fan in the world. It's not that serious. It really isn't. And, we definitely need to make sure that type of shit does not bleed over into, any type of other fandom, and sports fandom needs to chill the fuck out. So what are your thoughts on that, Kelly? Just in general of toxicity in the fandom and how people are handling it and things like that.
I just think it's unfortunate that there's ever a point where we've grown so much, I think, as a society, as a culture, as a species overall, that there's ever a point where we can't actually have an open conversation about things. And it's just scary to hear things in the news like this, a headline like this, where it actually gets to this level. I'm a big fan of, the pen is mightier than the sword. I think that when it comes down to it, I would like to think that we're evolved enough to actually have these conversations. And I think a lot of the time, the biggest problem and the biggest lapse is in not being able to actually have a thought out discussion with someone that actually has an opposing viewpoint. And I think that is kind of the cause of most of the divide right now. And yes, of course, people are wired differently. People have different values. And when it comes to things like fandom, whether that's sports fandom, gaming fandom, and whether you're a fan of anything, you're going to have hardwired feelings about that. And I've experienced it in my own small way compared to, of course, everything else that's going on. And whether it's politics or movies or science, there's always going to be differing viewpoints and completely different walks of life that are coming together. And I think the biggest thing we could hope for in something like this is for people to see that and to be able to take something away from it, at least. I mean, to not have someone die in vain ever. Of course, it's such a complicated issue. It's hard to even say anything really about it other than it's very unfortunate. And I hope that we can continue to grow and learn from, situations like this one.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. For anybody that's looking for an update, because I know a lot of you are just joining us because we are on a different time today, because I'm usually live streaming at 5 or 6 and we're doing it early. And so many of you have already said, I can't make it today. But so if anybody's just jumping in, I was talking about how we're hearing this constant thing about toxicity in the geek culture fandom and Star Wars fandom. And I've long said, like, you don't know toxicity if you don't know anything about sports fandom. And it's bad. And it's very bad. And so over the weekend during the LSU-Alabama game at a bar, I think in Louisiana, an Alabama fan was jumped by 2 LSU fans over an argument during the game, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And that Alabama fan was pronounced dead today due to injuries from the assault. And so we hear, we see a lot of stuff that's going on. And yeah, that is crazy. I know there's been a lot of people that have, been saying what's going to happen at Star Wars Celebration. I don't have any concerns about that. I am not a violent person. I'm not looking for any of that to happen. I keep myself out of situations that I can't control or situations that I think is going to be a bad situation. I've learned to do that in life. So that's why I don't really put myself around alcohol or other people that are drinking alcohol because they lose control, and I'm not really interested in all of that, you know. But it's crazy, man. So thoughts and prayers out to his family, because it's crazy, man. The dude was like in his mid 40s and now he's dead. He was just trying to enjoy a football game and now he's dead. That's insane. But let's change the topic and let's get a little more lighthearted. You guys have questions for us. You've been asking for Kelly to come back onto the channel. She's here. I apologize for the change in time, though, but I am recording our very first weekly gaming episode tonight. And then I might go back live again tonight. So we'll see. We shall see. Now, another topic. Someone super chatted me last week. I sent you the picture, Kelly. And they wanted mine and your thoughts, which we discussed this on the Common Sense Crew last week on Anna's channel. But they wanted mine and your thoughts on this whole Keira Knightley, Kristen Bell, Disney princess nonsense, where they basically don't want, they're not allowing their girls to watch Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, and Snow White because of the message it sends that you should never just rely on a man, and you should never give up your voice for a man. That's not the point of Cinderella. The point of Cinderella is to never lose hope, even when you're in a horrible predicament. She didn't go just looking for a man. She was just trying to be part of the community that everybody was part of. She wanted to go to the ball, and she just happened to fall in love with the prince, and it's like, what's wrong with that? How have you figured out that is detrimental to your kid? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. And then they said that Ariel, you never give up your voice for a man. I'm like, Ariel saved Eric in that movie too. You know what I mean? Like, you can form a thing to fit your narrative if you want, but if you think The Little Mermaid and Cinderella are dangerous to kids, you have problems. So what are your thoughts on this?
At first, when I saw your message, I of course went and watched the interview, and my initial thoughts were just, this feels so, like you said, almost like speaking in a way that's just trying to get certain movies to fit to that narrative. I almost feel as though she was looking for more of recognition on her choice as a parent than anything else, which I don't have I'm not in a place to really speak to that sort of thing. All I know is that raising children is extraordinarily complicated. And of course, as a mother with daughters growing up in today's social, political climate, I'm sure it's wrought with tension and questions, and you don't exactly know where to go and what kinds of decisions to make. But I will say that I grew up watching Disney princesses of all sorts. I watched Cinderella a multitude of times. They were never my favorites. I was a tomboy. I always cared more about the Star Wars universe than I did about Disney, which ironically, they're now part of the same universe, but but like you said, I never felt that those were particularly a feminist, anti-feminist message or anything like that. And I think the most important thing to take away from this whole statement that Keira Knightley has made is more about, I think people need to have a better conversation, because I think what's happening right now is you have a long range of different types of celebrities from different corners of stardom that are coming out with these statements that are trying to almost put their version of beliefs and expectations and parenting techniques out into the world. And I think that's a very slippery slope, because first of all, not only are these not necessarily aligning with what's actually true, but I think it's really important to also look at media and entertainment from a historical context. And another thing to remember is, even if those messages weren't, necessarily as empowering as today's more recent, like Frozen and Tangled and movies like that, they were from a different time period. Snow White, even The Little Mermaid, I mean, that's an old Dutch tale. And Cinderella were all old, very, very old fairy tales from a time where it was a little more reflective of society's values, and romanticism was very different, and people looked at chivalry and things like being courted. And now we're in a time where it's not really working that way. It's very fast paced. People are looking to play on an equal playing ground, and especially women, and which is okay. And I think there's been a lot of growth in those aspects where women are more independent now than they have been in the past. But I think it's all getting confused in translation. And I don't think it's really fair or necessarily even right for someone to make those kinds of statements when they know how large their audience is and they know that there are impressionable people of varying ages that are going to see that. And as a teacher, I've been a teacher for many years. I see children come into the classroom of all ages. I work with a lot of different age groups. And particularly at that age, I think her daughter's around 3, around the age of 4, you see children coming in with different experiences and different things that they're watching. And if you have one child that's being completely blocked off from one type of entertainment or media, and their parent is echoing this notion that it's bad, I think you're going to have a real conflict when they start meeting other peers of their age group, because that's how children learn, is from seeing what other children are seeing. And I don't know, it's a whole big complicated issue. I could go on about this, but I don't want to bore anybody, but it's a very complicated issue. And I think it gives me the heebie-jeebies to think that we're going down a route where people can't have a conversation about this anymore without saying, this is bad, write it off, and blocking it.
That's my favorite part of you, is that you understand conversations are important. That is I live and breathe by communication. Talk to people, work it out. Don't be afraid of a conversation. It's such a simple yet complicated thing, apparently. And so real quick, I know someone was asking, who is Kelly? And it's a good answer. Will Gentry. I love you guys because you guys follow everything. Will Gentry says, she's someone Jeremy met a while ago and proved she knows her stuff. So Jeremy invited her onto the channel one day, and the Geeks and Gamers fandom took a liking to her, so he asked her back. That's a perfect answer, Will. So that's a perfect answer. So
thank you, Will. That's awesome.
Yeah. So see, we have Zebulon Pike saying, I like this Jedi bunny. So yes, she's great. She's great. So Phoenix says, and it was a perfect answer. It was a perfect answer. So let's see. Phoenix says, by the way, Mike Zero is working hard to support Kathleen Kennedy and Ruin Johnson to get the fans excited for episode 9. He really seems to be an Imperial probe droid. What is Mike Zero doing right now? So Clone Commander Jeremy says, you say conversations are important, Jeremy, but half the time we can't understand what you're saying because you can't spell. Wouldn't it be because I can't read? Well, I mean, come on, Clone Commander Jeremy. If you're going to talk junk, I'm not doing the spelling. I'm reading based on everyone else's spelling. So you already messed it up. So if we're going to have the back and forth, you got to get it right. You failed. You should have said, I can't read. Come on, bro. Come on. This is basic stuff, Clone Commander Jeremy. I am disappointed in you. Press Fs. We need Fs for Clone Commander Jeremy for his fail. He tried to call me out. And normally he does a good job of this, but he failed. He failed. And we also have Furry Jeremy. So we're up to over 80 Jeremys now. Yeah, over 80 of them. So it's crazy. So, yeah, you're getting all the Fs now, Clone Commander Jeremy, in the chat. So it's over with you now, buddy. Good Lord. As I say this, Mike Zero just uploads another video. So what exactly is Mike Zero uploading? Does anybody know? And smash the melee button. Let's get over 100 melees. I know it's an odd time of the day for us to go live, but we're almost up to 300 viewers, so I'm happy with that. Let's get 100 melees going. Let's see. Reading Alabama style, says Jennifer G. I like it. I like it. Mike Zero just put out another video. I know I just got a notification. I just got it. So love The Haunting of Hill House. Plan to rewatch it again soon, says Justin C. I am happy about that. I'm happy you guys enjoyed our spoiler review of that. We had a lot of fun. And Kelly and I have discussed probably doing more of that type of stuff. I really want Kelly to watch Interstellar. She's never watched Interstellar. So I need her to watch Interstellar.
I'm hoping this weekend. I want to be able to see it this weekend. That's a really good goal. And I don't want to like make this a whole point of conversation, but my boyfriend's best friend visited this weekend, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I finally saw Solo. We watched it this weekend. So
and
I have some thoughts. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was worlds beyond better than The Last Jedi. And it wasn't, obviously it's not the best, but I could enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Now, whether I still have to think about it, but whether I can say that from, I don't know what perspective I could really say that from, but it was enjoyable. Have you seen it, Jeremy? You haven't seen it yet, have you? Okay, yeah. I wasn't planning on seeing it, but his friend kind of insisted that we watch it, and I was kind of, I had heard okay enough things about it. I've heard a lot of people say, You know, people got a bad rap from The Last Jedi. Nobody wanted to see anything. And honestly, it kind of gives me hope for other spin-off movies. And I want that to happen. I do want an Obi-Wan spin-off if it's well done. Maybe if people can get behind the quality in the Star Wars universe again, then we can have things of quality again, or at least start moving that direction and move away from The Last Jedi. If we can say, hey, people are kind of appreciating Solo a little more. But then again, there were some things that I didn't love, like the what was it, like the equality android or whatever she was.
Oh, L337 or whatever.
Yeah. She kind of bugged me a little bit. And that's just because it just felt a little obvious. They could have done it in a more subtle way that wasn't in our faces. But, you know, the aesthetic was kind of cool. It was kind of a grungy Star Wars universe. It felt like the world that Han Solo would have come from. So it was interesting. You know, I would have wished for a little bit more, but there were some interesting points. And overall, I enjoyed it. And I went out this weekend and I saw Natalie Portman out at a vegan restaurant. So that was kind of cool.
Did you ask her about the prequels?
I didn't ask her anything. I was so nervous. I saw her and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Natalie Portman. So I just kind of like walked slowly away. But it was cool because we saw Han Solo and Natalie Portman in the same weekend. So pretty nice.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't think that I don't think I'm going to watch Solo. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it, just because it's on principle at this point, you know. Plus, I really don't want to see L337. I've heard L337 is terrible, so I probably just won't. So we'll see.
Pretty annoying. I honestly like Donald Glover as a is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him as, like, I think he's an interesting person, an artist, and probably a good actor. I haven't seen him in too much, but he didn't feel like Lando at all to me. Just not the personality at all. That's the other thing that I kind of had him and LL3 were kind of my least favorite parts, just because I didn't think he captured. I was surprised by actually how well the other actor did that played Han Solo. I didn't think he was going to be good at all, but he was okay. It wasn't, I mean, no one's going to get Harrison Ford like pretty much ever, but he was okay. He wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from, like, to me the problem with Solo, like I said, it was more or less The Last Jedi. I have heard more positive things about Solo, significantly more positive things about Solo than I did The Last Jedi. But there's still a lot of people that hated Solo too. But definitely there was more positive feedback for Solo than there was The Last Jedi, which there's almost anything's more positive than The Last Jedi at this point. So is universally, it seems like it was hated, except for the people that are trying to push it forward just based on identity politics, which is nonsense. But Summer led Samuel 17. I courted my wife and I'm 26. Also, I don't know what Mike is doing. That's a great super chat. And then John Matrix says, please explain how Zero does it. He puts out videos like it's nothing. He must have editors editing for him. It takes me 3 to 4 hours to put out one. I mean, I don't, based on what he does, because I mean, the thing is Mike does put a lot of images in his videos, but if you have the editing software I use is nothing for me to, I can throw a video up in no time at all. I can make a video. I can sit down, because typically it's one take for me. I don't do jump cuts. I don't do all of that. So I can sit down. If I record a 7-8 minute video, I can sit down, I can record it, I can process it, I can, put it over to Google Drive, I can edit it, and I can have it online within the next probably 45 minutes if that's what I want to do. But I'm trying to always put videos up at a certain time just based on how the algorithm is working. But I've been posting a lot of videos lately just because I'm trying to push more content out to see how that works. Because while my views are great overall for the channel, it's still individual videos. They're not where I want them to be. But I look at my analytics versus other channels that are bigger than me. And yes, our numbers are good. They're really good. But I always want to be better. So with Mike Zero, dude, I mean, he's been doing this a long time. He's had a YouTube channel for 8-9 years, I guess. He knows what he's doing, man. So more power to him. Just like I always say, I don't have any problem with any YouTube channel doing their thing. I don't know why other people, get, and I'm not saying anybody's jealous of Mike Zero. I know he can be like overbearing sometimes with the amount of content and the repetitive stuff he does. But, people accuse me of the same thing. Some guy was in my comments earlier and he goes, I feel like you've already made this video 5 times. And I'm like, I'm going to make it 5 more times just to see you cry even more. Like who cares if I made it 5 times? So yeah, we did talk about Shirako. Is that how you say the name? Shirako getting banned from YouTube. And I don't know a lot about it, you know, but it's kind of crazy. Yes, we did hit over 100 melees. Thank you all so very much for that. Now let's go for 150. You know, I'm never satisfied. So, and swig of apple juice for everybody that's joining us. If you're just joining us, we have Kelly, who is Jedi Bunny. You have requested that she returns to the channel, and here she is, and probably going to see more of her as time permits. I'm probably going to take that clip of what you said about the Keira Knightley stuff and upload that directly to the channel if you're cool with that.
Okay.
A really good answer. I'm going to have to look back at it and see, just to see if it would hold together as a full video, because you made great points, you know, so I really enjoyed that. So and I've been doing that a lot with a lot of the clips from my live stream. I'll just take pieces of it and upload it back, and it's been working really well. Also, congratulations to our buddy Ivan Ortega. His trailer for The Last Jedi re-edit has now crossed 100,000 views. He is killing it right now. I'm really happy for him. And it's great to see, you know, the success continuing to follow Geeks and Gamers everywhere we go. So it's awesome. Tom King says, "Sup, Kelly? How is Nova?"
Oh, Nova was just here. She's in the background. Can you guys see? She's
yep, there she is.
She's hanging out. Hey, Tom. She's always somewhere.
And I had Leia on the live stream yesterday, so everybody was happy about that. So
I used to have a hairless ferret named Princess Leia. It's ironic because Leia was known for her beautiful hair, and my ferret had none. So there's some dramatic irony for you.
Yeah, there's Nova in the background now, chilling.
Yeah, so. Just hanging.
All right, let's see. My friend said The Last Jedi needed no editing. Well, was your friend drinking at the time? Your friend drinking. I mean, look, man, there's nothing wrong with someone having a bad opinion. Okay. I have bad opinions. Everybody has bad opinions. So it's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Coming to crash the video again. I don't know what you're talking about. Jeremy, admit I'm the best Jeremy. So furry Jeremy, which again, I don't even understand this furry stuff, but there's now furry Jeremys. I don't know how this has happened. I don't know what it means. I don't know if this is a positive or a negative. It scares me a bit. It makes me a little nervous, makes me a little uncomfortable, and it makes me regret ever starting a YouTube channel. But other than that, I don't have a problem with it. I'm kidding. So I started it. You started what, furry Jeremy? I don't even understand this. I have no idea what this means. Like, do you know what furries are?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. I think I've seen a couple, like, I don't know, those weird I don't know, shows that have like people's different, you know, kinks and stuff. I know enough about them.
We'll have to be careful with that topic.
Yeah, for sure.
How the hell did this become part of me? Like my channel and these accounts. How did this happen? I have no idea. Furry Jeremy started this gangsta shit. Oh my gosh, man. I don't even know what's going on. So no, I haven't seen any furry videos and I'm not going to. I refuse to. I won't do it.
It wasn't like them, you know, it was just them explaining how this is their path in life and they identify as, you know, or not like that, not like they actually identify as a golden hawk or anything, but that it gives them joy and a sense of anonymity to kind of like dress up as this giant furry animal. And most of them actually say it's not a sexual kink, that it's just a lifestyle choice. But who knows, you know, what direction we're going in these days. But that's furry Jeremy, that.
Yeah, I have no idea how this happened. I have no control anymore. I have no control. My little brother actually defended Rian Johnson's work right until we watched The Last Jedi. Worst ruining of a beloved franchise since Michael Bay destroying Transformers. I would argue that it's much worse than what Michael Bay did with Transformers. So I still like the first Transformers movie, the one that came out in 2000, whatever it was, 7. I thoroughly enjoy the first Transformers movie. The second one was probably the worst of all, and I haven't cared for any of them since. Now I'm looking forward to Bumblebee, you know, but I don't know. What did you think about the Transformers movies? Well, maybe I did see the second one now that I think of it. I guess it kind of injected maybe new life into the Transformers franchise because I think it was something that had, you know, a big following when people were younger, and it came out at a time where I think a lot of those people were
around college age, so it was a good movie going experience. But I've never been a big fan of Michael Bay. I don't think I've ever really loved anything he did, and just from like a more like critical standpoint, it just wasn't my favorite. But I could see where it was entertaining. The first was entertaining, visually, appealing in a lot of regards. But I think The Last Jedi I think it's insulting how bad it was, from a critical standpoint. At least Transformers, I wasn't insulted by it. I was just kind of like, I've seen better. But The Last Jedi, I was like actually just appalled by as a fan. So I don't think you can compare it. Yeah, it's
it's so bad.
really bad.
It's gotten to the point where we can't even use words to describe it anymore.
I can't. Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like right now, I think that, like me, I'm excited for Bumblebee. I think the trailers look great. Michael Bay didn't fundamentally destroy Transformers to the point where you just can't be excited when new creative person gets involved, because I'm getting ready for Bumblebee, and I'm not sitting there thinking about the last 2 or 3 Transformers movies.
Right.
When episode 9 comes along, not only am I thinking about what happened with The Last Jedi, I'm also thinking about how The Last Jedi impacted the original trilogy and the end of Return of the Jedi. That's how bad The Last Jedi is. So I don't think that what Michael Bay did is even remotely close to what to what Rian Johnson did. So we'll see.
Good point.
Phoenix says we need a Bowsette Jeremy next. Oh my God. There's like a Bowser and was it Bowser and Princess Peach from Mario? I guess they had a kid, or I don't know. There's some kind of thing going on. So now there's going to be a Bowsette Jeremy. Is there a Bowsette Jeremy already? Somebody's saying there is. I can't keep up with you. Someone don't tell Caitlin Alba. Caitlin Alba was about to give up on keeping up with the Jeremys the other night because so many were being created. She's like, I'm done. I can't keep up. There's too many. There's way too many. So Micah, math isn't my best subject. Did you hear that Tarkin's supposedly gay in the name of diversity now? He used to have a wife, but now he's implied to have an affair with TK421. Yes, I've heard about this.
Wait,
this is
serious?
true. Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, no, it's true. It is true.
No. What?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I need a minute. Wait. Oh, that's really disturbing. Why are they going back and changing it? Why are they? This is another thing that I feel like fundamentally.
Let them have it.
Going back and changing things historically, I feel like people are trying to do like that's another thing about the whole Keira Knightley thing with the Disney princess. You're going back and you're changing something and saying that it was oppressive or it was against our current modern values, and I just. Like, that's crazy. You can't do that. I'm sorry. I don't even have words right now. I'm just I need a moment. I mean, that's.
No, I thought it was a joke too when Ethan was telling me about it. And I don't know. I honestly, after Ethan told me about it on the High Council last week, I thought it was a joke. Then apparently it was something that might not be a joke. I, much like Solo, just won't watch it because I don't want it in my mind. And so I have refused to look up this story because I don't want to know anymore. Because at the end of the day, I will not acknowledge it in terms of being part of my canon. I just won't do it. So I don't know how legit the story is, but it's out there and people are talking about it. So, oh my God. Yeah. I that's how we should just not acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, what is it? What is that movie, Candyman, where if you say his name, he pops up. So if we just don't acknowledge it, So.
And I want to clarify, there's nothing wrong. I think this is the most important point to make, honestly, at this point, because you don't want to get thrown in with this lump of this small minority that actually does have a thing against. I don't have anything against gay or homosexuality or color or anything like that, portrayals by different types of people, but like it's the going back and changing things. I think that just for the sake of diversity or being progressive or whatever. I consider myself a very progressive person. I'm open to a lot of different ideas. I think human beings are wildly complex, and we find out how complex we are more and more all the time. But to go back and change to fundamentally change a character and say, oh, well, I feel like J.K. Rowling is doing that right now with the Harry Potter series, and just to feel like she's more like inclusive and progressive. And it's this weird thing that's coming from this person's ego. At the end of the day, it's coming from a sense of feeling like they're part of this whole new movement and this whole new world that's more accepting. I'm an accepting person. If General Moff Tarkin was represented as gay in the beginning, that's fine. Or they didn't make his gender clear, but why does it matter? That's my other thing. They are his gender, his sexual preference clear. But why does that matter? That's the thing. Why should it matter? I mean, they could go back and say Leia was a suppressed lesbian who really didn't have feelings for Han Solo. They could do anything that they want, but why does it matter? And I think when you have truly good art versus this imitational, like weird reflection of our current state, true art doesn't push ideas, and it doesn't reflect things that are, it shows you things without explaining them to you. And I feel like what they're doing and what's so distasteful to me is that they're going back and they're explaining it to you. And one of my biggest problems with any type of entertainment or art is when I feel like the filmmaker or the artist is talking down to me. And this just feels like the artist is talking down to us, these kinds of choices and decisions. It's one thing to just let it be out there, but to talk and explain things and talk down, I completely disagree with that method of filmmaking or art creativity. It's just crazy. I don't know.
Perfectly said. You're 100% right. And it's like if there was a campaign to actually like find a white person to play Blade, you know, like that would piss me off. I know Blade is Wesley Snipes, you know, so I'm always going to identify that with a black guy. So I'm going to want a black guy with the talent and the skill to play that role in the future if they ever reboot the series or whatever. You know what I mean? If they find a white guy that's best for the role, I guess I could accept it, but that's not what I would want the target to be. I would not want them to go, we are going to specifically not hire a black person to be Blade. I would be furious at that. I would be like, no, screw that. You hire the best person for the job, and the best person for the job would typically be a black guy because it's a black guy that made it popular. That's who we know it as. You know what I mean? And so it's so frustrating when you hear about this identity politics and this specific casting choices, retroactively changing characters to fit the current narrative, things like that. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. So, but another excellent answer. You're giving me a lot of stuff. I'm going to have to just pull snippets out and upload. So, all right, we'll talk about that. I won't do anything without getting permission. All right. Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy, Jedi Bunny, will you run your fingers through my awesomely delicious, beautiful hair until I fall asleep?
That's for Nova. Nova gets the petting.
Good. Well played. So I always mess this person's name up, so he just told me to call him Bob, so I've always called him Bob O'Sullivan. At least Bay is consistent. He's consistently shit, but consistent nonetheless. Transformers and Pirates are similar in that way. Good first movies. So with Michael Bay, I'll say I like Michael Bay outside of his Transformers movies. Now, I like the first Transformers movie. The rest of them are absolutely painfully bad. I remember going to see the fourth one with Mark Wahlberg. I think that's the fourth one with Mark Wahlberg, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to like this one. I think this one's going to be good. I've got hope. And I went in there, and I don't get headaches. I don't get sick. I don't get nauseous typically. I'm blessed that way, I guess. I got a headache during that Transformers movie. I'm sitting there and going, I have a headache because I'm so aggravated at this movie. It literally gave me a headache. And I was like, I can't believe this. This is so bad. Now, was that the last one, the Mark Wahlberg one, chat, or was there another one? That was The Last Night, I think, was another one. I think the Mark Wahlberg one was the fourth one. And then there was another one called The Last Night that I have not seen. I did not see the Last Night. I think that's what it is. So, but yeah, it actually gave me a headache. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there and it was like 45 minutes in. I'm like, I have a headache from this movie. Like, seriously, I'm not even making this up because I don't get headaches. And so that actually gave me a headache. So Idris Elba for the new Blade, 100% back that idea. Actually, was Wesley Snipes still is he out of jail after the tax fraud? Like, we need Wesley Snipes back. You know what I mean? I will take, what's Wesley Snipes now in his 50s? I'll take Wesley Snipes in his 50s over an in-shape white dude to play Blade. Like a 25-year-old white dude that's in shape. I would still take Wesley Snipes in his 50s. I'll take Wesley Snipes in his 70s. Blade over some in-shape white dude. So anyway, where we at? But hey, you know. I'm just alt-righter, you know. All right. God of all Jeremys. There's a God of all Jeremys account. Okay. You guys are hilarious. I want you to know I sincerely appreciate all of you. I don't deserve it, but I appreciate it. Smash the melee button if you don't mind. If you're just joining us because we got over 400 people watching, we do have Kelly Jedi Bunny back on the channel by popular demand. She's back. We're here, and we are just having a conversation with all of you lovelies. So God of all Jeremy says, hi, Jeremy. Not sure if you're a Witcher fan, but SJWs once again have ruined it by making two main female characters, Black and Indian, when the novels are Polish and they are meant to be white. And I'm not saying this to be racist. I've never played The Witcher. I actually went to, I got something came up. I was actually going out to buy Red Dead Redemption today because I want to play it. And I'm probably going to get The Witcher 2. I've been playing a lot more video games lately to kind of get away from all the work that I'm just buried in, because it's kind of a nice release for me to just, you know, get away from something for a little while. So I'm going to go get Red Dead, and I'm probably going to get The Witcher because I want to play the games. But I don't know anything about it, so I can't sit here and have an honest opinion on it without doing a little more research. You know what I mean? You're probably not caught up with The Witcher, are you, Kelly?
Not at all.
I mean, I know they're doing the Netflix series based off the video game. We saw Henry Cavill's reveal the other day, which I thought looked pretty good. So, is she going to be part of Geeks and Gamer staff? She is part of Geeks and Gamer staff. That was made official on a live stream last week and a half ago. But she and I mean, she's fairly new to YouTube, so I'm working with her on some aspects of it. You know, she doesn't post a lot of content to her channel just because she just moved across the country over to California, and so she's got a lot going on. So that's why I bring her on the live streams with me, and we're just going to slowly kind of, you know, develop her within Geeks and Gamers. But she is officially part of the team. She has won me over, and she's won most of you over, it appears, or all of you over, actually. So God of all Jeremys, thank you for that. Did you want to say something, Kelly?
Oh no, I was just like, hopefully most of you.
Almost every single person, I would say.
But the good thing is we can have a conversation about things we disagree on, you know, which is rare these days. So
yes,
that's what I'm hoping for. The conversations, opposing viewpoints are one thing, but if you can't talk about them, there's no point.
Such a perfect answer. Such a perfect answer. All right, Spidey Flash. Just finished my 10th watch through of the Clone Wars series. How many times has everyone else watched it? I've watched it 3 times all the way through. I don't think you've watched it, have you, Kelly?
I've watched a smattering of episodes, and I just recently this weekend was told again I need to watch it, and I'm planning on it. It's probably going to be my go-to like nighttime as I'm falling asleep show to watch, because I remember that's how I used to watch it when I was starting to watch the episodes. I'd kind of like put it on and go to sleep with it on. So I'm probably going to do that. But then again, I want to pay attention too, because I feel like there are a lot of good plot points in there.
Oh, there definitely is, especially when you get into seasons 3, 4, and 5. Phenomenal plot points. So
yeah.
Bob O'Sullivan says Kelly's great, Jeremy not so much. Just kidding. You're not kidding at all. And I see you guys telling me to shut up and let her talk. Is there going to be a shut up Jeremy let Kelly talk account? Shut up, Jeremy, let Kelly talk. That's the next one I'm going to endorse right there. I want to shut up, Jeremy, let Kelly talk. Because I've been seeing everybody saying it. All right. God of all Jeremys again. It would be like making Black Panther white. Exactly. And nobody would go for that. It's like, go ahead. This would be the perfect way for them to do a social experiment. Make Wonder Woman a man and see how people react. We would all lose our minds, all of us. And that is exactly the point here. It's about not changing pre-existing characters. If you want to create new characters, create them in whatever you want. And the problem is when they know they're creating these characters, this is why they won't do it right here, because they know they can't develop the following. Because people generally are not looking for the diversity. They're not looking for that. They're not looking to support characters based on diversity. They're looking to support characters that have a great character arc and they have a great backstory and there's something they can connect with. So that's why they don't want to create new characters with all of this diversity and identity politics. They want to use pre-existing characters so they can push their agenda into it. That's why. And that's the frustrating part. So I'm looking. Everybody's telling me to shut up now, so I'll just shut up. Kelly, I'll just let Kelly take over. Go.
No. Don't leave me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Here, how about this? Here, guys, I'll just put the camera on her the whole time while I'm talking.
No.
That way, you know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Let's see. I don't know what that non-arc. Kathleen, don't make me triggered. Me, Kennedy, my allegiance is to Star Wars, to great content. Dueling ensues. That is right. That is true. Because that's all we want. We don't care. We don't care. Like I said, I supported Kathleen Kennedy when she was, you know, named president of Lucasfilm. I was all in support of her because I was told she had a great resume and she's done great things, and was told by people that I respected. Her actual job and what she's done and her performance is what has driven me to the point I'm at. Not her gender, has nothing to do with it. It's her job performance. You know, like we go through this all the time in sports. You know, these coaches, they come in, they get a lot of, you know, hype, and then they suck. And then people start creating websites and GoFundMe to have them fired. Is that sexist? No, they suck at their job. You know what I mean? There's right now, there's GoFundMe and there's petitions to fire these certain coaches in college football and the NFL. They're white males, but guess what? They're not doing a good job. But when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy, you're just upset because she's a woman. Like, Kelly, as a female, as a non-white male, how do you feel about Kathleen Kennedy's performance?
I think she had a pretty good career up until recently with The Last Jedi specifically. I was watching E.T. a couple weekends ago for like Halloween weekend or the weekend before Halloween. And she was listed as one of the producers on there. She's obviously been involved in some good stuff. I think she was involved in Raiders of the Lost Ark. She's had a good career. I think what happened was she got involved with this whole mindset with the Force is female and feeling as though Luke Skywalker wasn't a relevant or available hero for women or young girls. And I think that's where everything started to go downhill for her and her career. I'm not doubting that she's an intelligent, business-minded woman in a lot of ways, but I think what happened was she let her ego get involved with this whole agenda. And then once that happened, it was a very slippery slope. She got a lot of people behind her supporting the message that she wanted to send. And it's funny because before I saw The Last Jedi, when I was teaching, I was noticing all these little girls coming to school wearing Star Wars shirts and Rey shirts. And I'd never seen that before. I grew up in a time where I was the only girl ever doing or like wearing anything Star Wars, talking anything Star Wars. So for me to see that, I was like, wow, that's an interesting thing. You never saw that. And it started to appear to me that this was all part of like this very strong-minded agenda. And it's not that I necessarily disagree with opening up Star Wars to more people, and especially for young girls and to feel empowered and stuff. That's fine. That's very important. But I felt perfectly empowered by Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia. And as soon as I started hearing the rumors about Disney banning images of Carrie Fisher in the metal bikini, I was like, that's crazy. Because and I say this in one of my earlier videos, but Leia was wearing the bikini that Jabba the Hutt put her in as a slave, and she literally killed him and took that bikini off as soon as she had the chance and put on normal clothes again. Like, I think that's the craziest thing, to think that in itself is inherently sexist, that she was wearing a metal bikini and was portrayed as Jabba's slave. And of course, it's a beautiful image of her, and a lot of men and women alike admire that image itself. But if you actually know the story deeply and you know what she went through as the character and her character arc in Return of the Jedi, I don't know. I could go on about this because it bothers me, because I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is a bad person, but I think she's the wrong person for the job, like you said. And I think when it comes to anything of quality, whether it's sports, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's anything else in this world, if you're not qualified for the job, get out of the room. You're done. That's how I feel. She might be more qualified for something else, but for right now, I think if you're going to make a mockery out of the characters that we know and love that aren't oppressive people, I just think you're not the right person for the job.
Mic drop. And another snippet I'm going to be able to take and upload to the channel. So we may have to take some of these. We have to take some of these and let you just upload them to your channel. That way you're generating some content. You know what I mean? So Ideas. I'm always
Okay.
thinking. So we'll talk. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
But yes, another exceptional answer. So, okay, John Matrix. There's a Brokeback Jeremy here now. There's a Brokeback Jeremy account. How has this happened? I feel like George Lucas now. I'm sure George Lucas, after he created Star Wars and he saw everything going crazy. Obviously, I haven't created that, but I'm just looking at like, what have I done? Well, I'm gonna do the Hayden Christensen. What have I done? You know, like this is crazy. This is a Brokeback. Oh my God. All right. Cotton Canner Jeremy. Jeremy, you're trying to get me to say that. Jeremy wore Beagle shirts on his live stream yesterday. I paused enough to where I didn't say it consecutively, so I didn't actually say those words you want me to say. But that was a very nice try. Sir Ruin of Roundhead going to be in Orlando December 3rd, 7th, or the 3rd through the 7th. Will you be there, Jeremy? I don't know. I said yesterday that I am scheduled to be back in California at the end of this month or the 1st of December. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be there yet. I haven't even told you about that yet, so we'll have to get up and hang out. So
exciting, yeah.
So I will be back in California sometime later this year. I don't know if that's going to overlap with that time, but I'll let you know. So just stay in touch with me. And I'm assuming you're going to be at Walt Disney World, which if I can have an excuse to go to Walt Disney World, I'm there. So I'll let you know. Phoenix says, reverse sexism. What's wrong with Grand Moff being heterosexual? Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's all about agendas at this point. That's what matters. That's all that matters. It doesn't, like, they don't really care. They really don't care about any of the stuff that they are they're trying to push. They're just trying to get woke points. Does Jedi Bunny have an account now? Somebody created an account for you. Hang on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Jedi Bunny's eyes.
Oh my God.
Hello, Jeremy and Kelly. Jedi Bunny's eyes. I don't know. That's funny. That's a good one right there. All right. And then Star Wars for Life says, Kelly drops the mic. She did drop the mic. God of all Jeremys. Jedi Bunny, you look like the actress Alexandra Daddario from Percy Jackson and True Detective. You could be twins. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
And I've seen True Detective, but I only saw True Detective season 1 with.
I only saw the good one, whichever one the good one.
with McConaughey. Yeah. So
that was the first one.
Somebody also said you could play Wonder Woman. So which that's a good call out there. You could play Wonder Woman. So.
Well, I do like Gal Gadot. I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet. That's on my list, but I do like her.
You haven't seen Wonder Woman?
Not yet. I want to see that. I want to see that very badly. Yeah.
You gotta see that. You have to see that immediately. You have to see that immediately.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I've heard only good things, honestly.
It's exceptional. It's exceptional. Yeah. Micah Math isn't my best subject. As a light-skinned brunette, the favorite kind of female protagonist for Lucasfilm to hire. What is your opinion? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kelly's probably going to get hired, because she's got exactly what they are looking for. Because I just want to see, I really want to see Lucasfilm, if you really want to push some diversity on me, okay, why don't you hire an overweight African-American female with 4 kids to be the lead in your next film? Let's see how you want to push diversity. You want to do that? Let's get some representation, because there are more people in the world that are running around with kids, or even like me. I'm almost 40. I got kids, I got bills. Hire me, put me in a role and let me have my kids and all my bills that's stressing me out. You want to make Star Wars feel like the real world? Huh? Go ahead and do that. All right, go ahead. Put a little grocery store, in the Star Wars movie, because we want to make it feel like the real world, right? And let's show me going in there with coupons and everything, picking up food for my kid. Let's do that. Because
it's so frustrating. The problem to me is that Star Wars did feel like the real world, especially the original trilogy. It felt gritty. It felt like there was age to it. It felt like there were people suffering. There were people just walking through Mos Eisley Spaceport. There were creatures and people of all different types. I mean, I just find it so crazy that they're looking to make it more real and more accessible, when I feel as though I know people from all different walks of life that love Star Wars and find it completely accessible. And to them, it's almost an escape from this world, because it feels like another real world to go into. It doesn't feel as glossy. I feel like that's what they're doing now. It's almost like they're adding gloss to it instead of just keeping it as a fully functioning ecosystem within its own. They're just adding gloss and adding all these sparkly things that make it more appealing to a certain niche crowd of people. And I don't know. Sorry to interject there, but just
no, you're right. You're right. And so it's let's see, Jeremy, you're 40, almost 40, not quite, but you're looking so young. It's unfair. It's outrageous. Yeah, I do. Everybody thinks I'm like, maybe late 20s, something like that at the most. And unfortunately, no, I am. I'm Social Security checks are going to start coming in soon. I've got a walker right over here off camera. I don't let you guys see it because that really hurts my YouTube personality. But I do have a walker, back braces, all that stuff. None of that's true, but like in person, how old do I look in person? You met me in person.
You do look young. We actually talked about that. I think I said you look like maybe between 26 at the youngest and maybe 36 at the absolute oldest. You really look young. I think you look younger in person though. So
okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good. So
it's good karma. You must be doing something right.
Maybe, or I've just been protecting myself from all the craziness over the past 30 something years, and it's all just going to catch up with me next year. And I'm gonna start looking. It's going to transform like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus, where he woke up and looked in the mirror, and it's just like boom, and I've got like a gray beard, gray hair. I'm like, I'm in big trouble. Yep. So, all right. Jeremy probably bathes in moisturizer. No, it's SJW tears, man. SJW tears.
Very salty.
All right, where are we at? I got to catch up here. Gabe Ramirez. Can we make our own Star Wars? The Rose Galaxy by Gabriel Ramirez. It's a book on Amazon. It's a shame how they killed Luke and Han Solo. Yes, it is a shame. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's one of those things. It's just that they can't, like I said, I am frustrated with watching Star Wars right now because of what's going on, and I don't watch it as much as I used to, but that time will pass. That time will pass. It's just we're in the current trilogy. I'm upset because we're in the current trilogy and I don't have anything to look forward to like I wish I did. But that time will pass. They can't take away Star Wars. Star Wars is still there. It's still there. Return of the Jedi is still there. Empire, A New Hope, even the prequels, which I like. The Clone Wars, they can't take any of that away. They've created some bumps in the road for us, but when it's all said and done, they can't take any of that away, and it's just like anything else. You look at the Dark Knight trilogy, for instance. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. That trilogy ended. It ended with Bruce and Selena Kyle, and it's up to us to determine what happened after that. It's up to the audience to kind of, make up our own mind. That's how we'll have to view Star Wars. It's up to us to kind of just think about what happened after Return of the Jedi. How did it all play out? That's how we have to look at it, So, but so it is frustrating. It is. So, Mirror Jeremy says, okay, I'm here now. Champions League matches over. We played like crap, but we got a 2-1 win. Hashtag glory, glory, Man U. What I miss. You just missed everybody telling me to shut up. So Kelly could talk, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's see. There's Carter says, let Kelly talk some more. You will hear her talk a lot more as we continue to, bring her into the channel. Don't worry about that. All right. God of all Jeremys, the girl that gets freaky with Woody Harrelson. I'm trying to remember. So that's the girl in the True Detective. I don't remember her. What was her name? I've heard that name. Let me see. Alexandra. Is that what it was? Alexandra.
I get different people all the time. I've had people tell me I look like so many different people, and I'm just like a cross section.
You look a little like her. You look a little like her. She's yeah, I remember her now. So, but yeah, I know you'll be getting that a lot. So God of all Jeremys. Also, Jeremy, I'm a Seahawks fan. Can we be hombres? No, I hate the Seahawks. I hate the Seahawks. I can't stand the Seahawks. That's my most hated NFL franchise. And I'm sorry, God of all Jeremys, but we can still be friends. But we can't be hombres. We can't. We can't. Especially on Sundays. We can't do it. So, let's see. Damajanai says, "Hey, brother. Hello, Damajanai. How are you?" You guys in the chat are killing me right now. And I'm caught up. I'm caught up on super chats. So what do you guys want to talk about? There was something else somebody said earlier. I'm really happy. Kelly's had 3 or 4 really good mic drop moments that I'm going to have to download this video and then clip those out, send them to her, and ask her if she's okay with me uploading those. So where are we at? Alpha Jeremy is speaking in the live stream. Is there an Alpha Jeremy, or is that just me in general? So Brighton Cherry says, I didn't get notified again. We'll say hello to Kelly. Kelly's joining us. We have over 400 people watching, almost 200 melees, Can we get over 200 melees?
I want to like it, but I'm scared if I like it, it'll turn off my, whatever. I'll just do it and go back. Okay.
I think you got this.
I saw that the King of Ruckus said hello to me, and I want to say hello back because he's been one of my first supporters from when I uploaded my first Last Jedi video. So thank you, King of Ruckus, for your continued support and awesomeness. I appreciate you saying hello. And yes, I will upload to my channel again. I've been going through like a lot with the move and everything, and I'm just waiting for the right motivation to strike and make a new kind of update video and welcoming all the new subscribers that I got, because I kind of had an influx after posting my first video with you, Jeremy. So yeah, I intend to. I'm not like ghosting my channel or anything. I've just been, going through a lot here and working on getting my new job all set up. So it's a lot, but all good things. And Nova says hello, by the way.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Common Sense Crew tonight. No, Common Sense Crew is tomorrow, and that will be on Ivan's channel. So that's tomorrow. Tonight I will be recording our gaming episode that will be uploaded tomorrow. That'll be the first of our weekly gaming episodes here on the Geeks and Gamers channel. Looking forward to that. And it won't be live, so we're going to record it, then we'll upload it tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. We have the Common Sense Crew tomorrow night. Andy Goss says, praise the Lord because I am Jeremy Osteen. Jeremy Osteen. Well, Jeremy Osteen would like to say you have all been blessed by the Jedi Bunny tonight. She has blessed you with her presence here on the Geeks and Gamers channel. We love seeing all the super chats. And why do I talk like that? I don't even understand. Anyway, I just got to go, wah, man, because I don't even know why. I sound like that guy from Friday Night Lights that was the car dealer that kind of ran the town. I don't know.
It's perfect. It's perfect, Jeremy. Don't change it. It's so perfect, please. You need to do it more, honestly. Perfect.
Jeremy, did you cover the 450,000 YouTuber ban thing soon? I've covered it in this live stream. I'm going to look into it and get a few more answers if I can get more details. The only thing I said about it is it's awfully scary. It's awfully scary that YouTube is doing this. I don't know the details. I can only speak to my direct, communication with YouTube, and it's been very well. They've done a good job of working with me based on everything that happened and went down. So, but I want to look further into this. There's been a couple of channels that have been removed lately, and it's pretty scary. I just want to know, what is the line so I don't cross it? It's that simple. So, but there's going to be there's a lot of articles about that video that went viral, and it's crazy, man. It really is. So, all right. Kelly needs to stream with Lord Doomcock. Mic drops would be happen all stream, all day, every day. I just moved this week to Kelly. Obi-Wan27883 is a big supporter of the channel. I hung out with him when I was in California. And yeah, Doomcock, we had Doomcock on the High Council last night. He had to stand in for EVS because EVS was burnt out working all day. And so Doomcock's awesome. Doomcock and I talked about a couple of things. And so hopefully you'll be seeing more from Doomcock in the near future in reference to Geeks and Gamers. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I would love to get you on with the live stream with Doomcock, Kelly. That would be awesome.
I love the name. I don't know if I could address him that way.
Doomcock's great.
I have to say that word in the mirror over and over again to get used to saying it. Yeah.
I thought there was a super chat that I missed, but I guess not. All right. Jeremy, they tell you where the line is and then they move it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. I look, I said it before, I say it again. Why are we here? Why are we on YouTube? Because YouTube allows us the infrastructure and the reach to get our voices out there. We're not forced to be here. We are here by our own will. If YouTube has a line, if YouTube has rules that they want us to follow on their platform, they're well within their rights to do that. They are. But if they don't tell us where it's at, that's a problem. And that I do not like at all. And so moving forward, we're just going to have to see what they say. And I'm sure there's more to the story, just like everything, just like every circumstance and situation known to man. There's always more to the story. Just like when you have friends that go through a breakup or a divorce, that friend always has their side of the story. But guess what? The other person involved has their side of the story too, and they're telling their side of the story to their friends. So you have two groups of people that are being told one side of the story about one person and another side of the story to another person. And both of those stories are going to be radically different. Yes. At the end of it, somewhere in the middle is where the truth lies. And if you see everything going on, if you know all the details, then you look at it, you go, I can understand why this happened now, if you get all the details. So I don't know the details, and that is the truth. So
which is why another reason why conversation is so important. And I feel like what we're lacking today is actually being able to have long form, open-ended discussions, not just short interviews, not just quick edits, and getting people to kind of agree with what is already a preformed notion about something, but actually having discussions and conversations and even arguments, but actually getting into the crux of what people disagree about. And I think that's, if anything's going to be the downfall of society, it's going to be people that can't have conversations, living in a world together where people are either too sensitive or too opinionated to actually sit down and learn from each other about different places. Because I find that one of the best feelings and the most freeing, liberating feelings for me is actually having my mind changed about something that I really strongly feel, because it makes me realize we can always grow. We can always learn. Like an example would be like the prequels. I really harshly judge the prequels. And even in my some of the videos that I have on my channel, I'm really kind of like harshly judging the prequels because I grew up and I didn't really appreciate them for what they were. But I've spoken with so many people since then who have not only made me respect the prequels more, but actually appreciate them in a whole new light, where I'm starting to see them for the story rather than just the execution and the things that I maybe poked fun at them for previously, like an overuse of CGI or just creative decisions in general, where now I'm actually saying, well, actually there was a beauty and a meaning to the story, and the fact that people find that meaningful and beautiful is really important to me. And we're in a world right now where I think people are so quick to just judge and just shut off. And it's becoming a time where, as soon as I watched that Keira Knightley interview the other day, that when you told me about it, the first thing I thought was, this feels like modern day book burning. If we're going to go into a time where people are going to say that Cinderella is inherently sexist and Snow White is sexist and all of these things. And I think they're also just wiping out all of the historical context and all of the actual storytelling context that was layered into those stories. Now, I'm not saying that they're the perfect fairy tale for young children to grow up with, but that in itself is almost like, if I had a daughter and I was showing her those films, either before watching it or after watching it, I would sit and I'd say, so, like, let's talk about how things are so different these days. And now, it might not be the best thing in the world to be kissed while you're sleeping, or to go to a ball and just immediately fall in love with someone, or, you'd actually have room on a platform to discuss these things with your child. And I think that's one of the craziest things to me as a teacher, is you see so many children coming in with all these preformed opinions about things, among their peers and among teachers, and they're already so quick to just shut down another person's argument at a certain age, because they're so used to that. And I see it more now than I used to years back when I started teaching. So it's a really interesting phenomenon that's happening. I think we need to get back to a place where we can actually have dialogue again, and not just these quick snippets of our belief system or our agenda or our political mindset, because it's getting really dangerous. I think it's not healthy for humankind, not just one political party or the other, but it's not healthy for human beings to think that one way or the highway is a right way to think. Sorry.
If I was in the chat, I'd be doing the clapping emojis right now. another well said. No, do not apologize. That's why I shut up, just like everybody tells me to, and sit back and let you do your thing. It was perfectly said. You're 100% right. Again, well said as always. All right, so God of all Jeremy says, guys, it annoys me that Jake Lloyd got bullied at school after episode 1, and none of the cast stood up for him, but Kelly Tran got bullied, and all the cast like John Boyega did and went after the fans. You are 1,000% correct. It didn't fit the narrative, and that's really what it comes down to. And it is, man. Jake Lloyd's life has been absolutely ruined. And I don't know if it was specifically about, episode 1. I'm sure that was the predominant reason that his life turned into what it is. And you have to look at that. Like, I mean, I don't know how I would have reacted. Like, I don't know. I hear people call me, like, I'm not anything, but I'm just saying there's a following. I have a following now. People know who I am, but I'm old enough now where I've been through so much in my life that I'm kind of, used to it, but it's still a little kind of like, man, there's a lot of people that really, like the channel and like what's going on. And so you have to kind of come to grips with that and understand that. I can't imagine being that age and being thrust into Star Wars. And then the anticipation for episode 1 was absolutely nuts. And then all the blowback started happening. And all of the people that would probably say horrible things to him at school, and him having to come to grips with how the media was portraying everything with the prequels and how bad it was, that would have to drive somebody crazy. You know what I mean? Have to. I mean, I make that point up about like Michael Jackson, like, I don't care who you are. Like, Michael Jackson was however old, young kid, and he was the most famous person in the world pretty much, standing on stage singing while his father is basically telling him that he has an ugly face and an ugly nose. Then you have to go stand in front of the world knowing that your father just told you you're ugly and made fun of your face, and you're not even 10 years old, and you stand in front of these people, they're watching you all over the world. That has to fuck with your head. It just does. So when he gets older, yes, Michael Jackson had a lot of problems. We all know this. But you can't, I don't know how you get rid of that thing in your head where your dad traumatized you and you have the whole world looking at you. And so with Jake Lloyd, yeah, it's awful. And it's the fact that nobody stood up when there's tangible evidence that it happened, yet we have not seen any evidence of Kelly Marie Tran and what happened. If it happened and if anybody did it, you can go fuck yourself, because going after her, who for all accounts, she's an incredibly sweet person. She didn't deserve anything. If you want to criticize the character, criticize the character. But we haven't seen any of the evidence that they are continuing to get on the soapbox and preach about. Show us what happened. Show us who said it. Show us who did it, and show us what they said. And I promise you, everybody in this community would stand with Kelly Marie Tran if you showed us the evidence of what happened to her. But they can't fucking show us anything. All we're hearing is the narrative and the accusations without any proof whatsoever. That's bullshit, and that's what pisses me off. All right. I had to go full Kelly right there. I had to but yeah, it's a great super chat, and you're right. You're absolutely right. And I have no doubt, that people that follow this community, I have no fucking doubt in my mind. And maybe there's a couple of assholes out there, and that's fine. If there's a couple of assholes who think that it's okay for Kelly Marie Tran to be bullied and for people to say horrible things to her, you're a fucking asshole. But I would say the majority of people, if we were shown proof that Kelly Marie Tran was actually, had this hate mob after her, I'm very confident that the heavy majority of people that follow this channel would tell all those people they are pieces of shit. I'm also confident that the same people in this community would tell those people they're pieces of shit would still say they hated the character of Rose, which is completely fine. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with hating character, but show us the evidence. If not, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Like today, I had some guy in my comments who said he was whining. What did he say? He said, you've posted this video like 5 times today. And I said, and I'll post it 5 more times if you keep crying. He comments back, says, I could beat your ass. Okay, so am I supposed to go, I'm being physically threatened online. This is such toxicity. All of this male patriarchy. No, it happens. It happens. I get threatened online. If you've ever been online, if you've ever commented on Facebook on a public post, you've been threatened online. That's the internet. but there's people out there that will love to sit there and use like one person saying something bad to them and go, I'm a victim. Hashtag for me. Let me start a GoFundMe. There's so much trauma I've been through. I don't know how to. Someone on Facebook with no followers and no friends, he said something mean to me. It's just like, oh my God, so.
That was a beautiful performance, Jeremy. That was beautiful. I'm blown away. I have chills.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. If anybody saw PewDiePie's a video where he's talking about YouTuber apologies, like PewDiePie this is why PewDiePie is the king of YouTube, because he has such incredible common sense. And he's talking about YouTubers and how they go through apologies. And he even talked about like how people highlight death threats as kind of like, I got a death threat. And he goes, everybody gets death threats, but you can't use that. He also talked about how a lot of YouTubers will use a dog in their video. Like, oh, if you're going to apologize, you got to have the dog. You got to have the dog in the video. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
PewDiePie's level of common sense. Yeah,
you should make one with your dog just before.
I think I might do that. I think I might have my dogs and I'm gonna go play some sad music.
Sad music, yeah.
Yeah, yep. I even edit it, and I'm gonna be like, do the sigh. You have to go. Here's how the video is gonna start. I'm gonna go. I just want to come to you today. Oh! There's my dog conveniently running up to me. Let me grab it. Oh. Hi, honey. Yeah, this is going to be a tough video. I had no idea that you were going to run up. Like, that's how the apologies go. And so it's so cringe. You know what I mean? It's
how dogs can sense your emotions, and she just knows how remorseful and sorry I am. So here she is to support me. I hope you guys will too. Basically.
Oh man, that's gonna be good. I think I might do that. I seriously might do that. Just because if you haven't, please go watch PewDiePie's video on this. It's about 26 minutes long. I think it's so worth it. And he even makes fun of his own apology video, because he's had to do a couple of apology videos. PewDiePie's great. I love him so much. So
yeah, I do too. He's grounded. He's like still grounded in reality. He's a free thinker. Like he doesn't conform to what people expect of him or think of him. When he messes up, I think he effectively addresses it, and I think he's actually like genuinely remorseful or sorry when he does apologize. Like, I don't think he's the type of person that would apologize if he didn't feel like there was merit behind it. So yeah, I find him like really admirable for someone that has so many people following him and has so much content out there. I think he's managed to really keep a good head on his shoulders and like take it all in stride. And he's not tainted by, I think his, I guess for lack of a better term, stardom. As far as I can see, I think he's still pretty humble and still very grounded. So it says a lot.
It really does. It really does. And that's the thing he does. He just has an incredible amount of common sense, and he's really grounded. He doesn't let the success get to him. And I really like people like that. So I appreciate him so much. So Mega Jetty 1 says, please watch Jeff's best bets afterwards. So everybody go over to Mega Jetty 1's channel and watch Jeff's best bets. I think that's on, I think he's talking about Geeks and Gamers on that one. So definitely check that out. Mega Jetty, I'll check that out too, buddy. And I appreciate it. So good luck with everything on your channel. Retail Rage Jeremy, Jedi Bunny is the kind of customer that politely asks a legit question, then asks for your manager to compliment the helpfulness.
I feel like I've done that before. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That might have happened in my life. Or maybe write a good review in this day and age, maybe not the manager thing, but definitely I've written some good reviews for people when they go above and beyond.
Yeah, and that is so rare.
It's rare. It's rare to find people that are genuinely, not only, I think, I appreciate it when I find that out in the real world, when I'm out and about and you find someone that's genuinely helpful, genuinely kind. I just feel like it's in short order a lot of times these days because people are so glued to their phone or devices, or they have a whole thing scanning through their head constantly that's taking them out of the present moment. So when I find people like that, I definitely do try to thank them for it.
Good stuff. Let's see. Why isn't there a Jeremy's Eyes account? I know. Like, where's the Jeremy's Eyes account? Come on. You guys just hating on me because I'm a white male. I don't care. Let's see. Jeremy, only 9,000 more hatless noodle hair live or show stream. Here we come. Jedi Bunny has seen my hair. So she was you were actually shocked when you're like, oh wow, you know. So
it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, you might go blind. It's like the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can't look at it. Don't look at it. It's not, but in a beautiful way, not face melting.
You are hyping them for disappointment. You need to stop. So, if Jedi Bunny joins Geeks and Gamers, then 100,000 subs will happen shortly thereafter. I agree. You're gonna help push us to 100,000 subs. So, all right. God of all Jeremys, Jeremy, I feel Kathleen Kennedy would be the type of person that would support a humongous lady that one was on H3. Oh, you're talking about I don't know what you're talking about, actually. I was thinking about the Young Turks.
The fat acceptance girl, fat acceptance model, was that?
I'm not sure. I don't watch it. If you're talking about the H3 podcast, I don't watch H3 that much anymore. They've lost me in recent months. So I don't watch them much at all. So but yeah, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see. Jeremy's hair face melts. No, it's not gonna melt. You guys are ridiculous. Hashtag Jedi Bunny to join Geeks and Gamers 2018. She's already part of Geeks and Gamers, guys. It's just we're just slowly, making it happen. And like I said, I have plans for the channel in terms of bringing more content creators on. I officially have brought John Talks onto the channel. So John Talks is going to be on Tuesdays. He is going to have his weekly show on Tuesdays. So we're going to have John Talks on Tuesdays. We're going to have Ivan on Saturdays, Odin on Sundays, and I'm working the rest out. But that is to have content creators that's within our, community have a daily show every day on the channel, and then I will still be doing my daily uploads. We're going to turn this into kind of like a Daily Wire type thing, like Ben Shapiro obviously is the face of it and he's the predominant person, but there's a lot of different creators on there and they're uploading stuff all over the place on that channel. That's what we're going to do. And so, all right, Kelly, which is more tragic? This is a good question. Okay. This is from Brighton Charrier. Which is more tragic, Revenge of the Sith or Empire Strikes Back in terms of what happened and how everything played out? I said I had to think about it, but I said ultimately Revenge of the Sith was more tragic.
Yeah, in terms of story, I would definitely say Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it doesn't get more tragic than that. I don't think there's really an argument to be made. I enjoy The Empire Strikes Back more as a film overall, but I think in terms of tragedy, you really can't beat Revenge of the Sith. It's up there in terms of probably the most tragic storylines of all time. So it's a pretty dark tone.
Yeah, I love Revenge of the Sith so much. I love it so much. It's so good. Yeah, I got a notification. So Star Wars Theory announced the fan film premieres on December 20th. So his Vader fan film is going to premiere on December 20th. So definitely throw some support behind Star Wars Theory's Vader fan film. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be awesome. I have a lot of confidence in it. So, let's see. Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, you've got a great track record when it comes to scouting talent here on YouTube. Keep it up, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just try to people that, whether they contact me, I contact them, however it plays out, it's just got to be something that, there's just got to be something that connects with me, and so I've told this to Kelly. I don't think she's going to mind, but I just like, when I met her, I was just like, that's like, I need to see that version of you on camera, like the person I'm seeing that's talking to me right now. If you can do that, and this is what she's doing on these live streams, if you can do that, you're going to be great. And so that's exactly what we talked about. And so, and we've had some conversations, in private, she's happy that I'm honest with her. I don't like bullshitting people. I don't think that's beneficial to anybody. I just tell you what I think. And it's up to you if you want to take that and, take that constructive criticism and apply it or not. I'm not perfect. I'm not the best YouTuber ever. I learn things every day. A lot of the things that I've done in the past year is because I follow other people, and I watch them and I kind of it's just like how George Lucas, created Star Wars. He took elements from all of these different properties that he enjoyed and he pulled it all together. There's people like PewDiePie. I love PewDiePie. I watch PewDiePie. I've talked to Ivan about, hey man, I want to start developing PewDiePie-like content for this channel in the future, like how he does things. I want to start doing stuff like that to show my personality, and then I need you to help me edit it together. Of course, we're gonna start making that happen. You know, people like Clay Travis, who's sports commentator on Fox Sports 1. He's got Outkick the Coverage. Clay Travis is one of the reasons why I felt more comfortable to kind of speak out and be my true self and not worry about it. Clay Travis has this hashtag. It's a DBAP, DBAP. Don't be a pussy. That's his calling card. Don't be a pussy. And he works for Fox Sports. He's a lawyer. He don't give a shit, man. He really don't. And I'm like, damn, man. Like that's me, but I just don't do it on the internet. I should do it on the internet, And so there's just a lot of people that I've picked up elements from that I've learned from, and I continue to learn every day. And so I appreciate that compliment, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have people that, that I've surrounded myself with, and I try to surround myself with people that'll make me better. And just, I want Geeks and Gamers to have that Barstool Sports mentality of just like all these personalities have their own individuality. And everybody doesn't have to agree with me. They don't have to be like me. But I just want people to know when you come to Geeks and Gamers, you're going to get strong opinions and with no BS and no filter. That's what I'm trying to grow Geeks and Gamers into being. Now, a lot of you keep asking the questions of what's going to happen. What happens if YouTube shuts you down? I personally don't feel that's going to happen. But if it does, I do have a website called geeksandgamers.com. The money that you guys send, the super chats, the revenue, all of this is going into building geeksandgamers.com to be a bigger platform in the future. So when I see people go, man, Jeremy's just making a killing. I'm not making anything. I'm making money to build our brand. That's what the money is for. It's not like I'm driving Ferraris and shit. I'm still driving around my Kia. Okay. Like it's not like I'm Logan Paul in this thing or Jake Paul in this thing, and I'm buying fast cars and all this stuff. The money, the revenue we make is going back into Geeks and Gamers to grow Geeks and Gamers, to make it a bigger platform, because at the end of the day, I own geeksandgamers.com. I control everything that happens on geeksandgamers.com. Nobody controls me. So it's all part of a bigger picture. So Observer Dude says, I'm glad the money is going to something creative. Absolutely. I take your money seriously. I do. I take it very seriously. And I don't take it lightly. So just so you know, I mean, if you see, a lot of people see all this money coming in and they're curious what it's doing, it's going to build us a bigger and better community. That's what it's going to do. So, sorry to, talk too much. I know everybody wants Kelly to talk. So, all right. Where we at? Nicholas Glenn, did you see Trump destroy CNN reporter today? Epic. Was it Jim Acosta? Please tell me it was Jim Acosta. I haven't seen it, but please tell me it's Jim Acosta. So I'll have to check that out. Winning Jeremy says still winning. That is right. Nicholas Glenn, I see what connects with you. Hotness, LOL. Well, I mean, look, it's not a spoiler that, Kelly is a pretty girl. Okay. But when I met her, I had already knew she was a pretty girl. I had no interest in having her on the channel until I sat down and talked with her and heard her present herself and have those amazing opinions and that amazing insight. So, so it doesn't matter. Don't matter how pretty you are if you don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, look at me. I know, beautiful YouTuber. It's hard. I get it. Tough life. I know there's all the people want me to do photo shoots and all that. I'm like, look, I'm a beautiful YouTuber and I understand that, but there's more going on here. There's more going on. It's just, look, I don't want to be on the cover of Cosmopolitan. I know they offered me, like they said, well, look, if you can't be the sexiest man alive, we're going to have to go with Idris Elba. I'm like, Idris needs this, okay? Idris has had a rough career. He hasn't had a lot of breaks in his life, so let Idris have that. I'm more concerned with making my next video. So a lot of sarcasm there, in case anybody was wondering. Stone Cold Jeremy, you mentioned Rockstar Games before, and I noticed how much they don't give a flying F about NPC nonsense going in games and films. Peace, love you, Germs, and Bunny Girl. Thank you. Thank you. And you're right. But the problem is what happens if they do start carrying? I said this in my video today. There's nothing wrong with NPCs, and there's nothing wrong with SJWs. They are programmed to say stuff that's nonsensical. They don't have a core belief system. They don't know what they're saying. They're like that wind-up doll. You just wind up the doll. It walks around. It hits the wall over and over again because it doesn't understand it's supposed to turn. NPCs don't know what they're doing. But when companies respond to all of that nonsense, That's the dangerous part.
Yeah.
And these people are such a vocal minority, you know what I mean? And I just think it gets worse and worse. And I think Kelly constantly has been saying it during this live stream. It's all about conversations and communication. When these companies respond so quickly, instead of just sitting down and going, okay, guys, let's assess the situation. You know, let's talk about it. They don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. It's very disappointing. What are your thoughts on that, though, in terms of these companies that constantly pander to these vocal minorities of people that don't really have a vested interest in the content that they're being outraged over? They're just more concerned with being outraged for the sake of being outraged. And companies continue to pander to them. What do you think about that, Kelly?
I think it's an incredibly slippery slope. I think it's in the short term, it's uncomfortable and it's very telling about the companies and where their actual creative integrity lies. And then in the long term, I think it could be dangerous. You know, in a grander sense of it's small scale book burning right now. I think it's getting to that point, and I don't think that's ever a healthy thing, because then you start attacking things like free speech and freedom of expression, and not necessarily that I'm not one of those people that thinks the Constitution necessarily needs to be written in stone, but I do, because I think we're constantly learning about ourselves as people and about how governing societies work and how opinions change over time. But I also think that there are certain things that should be valued over time. And I think one of them is free speech. Now, does free speech need to be hurtful? No. Does free speech need to be biased? No, of course not. But I'm thinking particularly of the Simpsons recently writing out the character of Apu, who owned the Cookie Mart in Springfield. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, Apu was an independent business owner with a family. He was one of the only Indian people represented in The Simpsons. Why would you want to destroy the character? I understand if you don't want Hank Azaria voicing him, if you want someone of an actual Indian background voicing him, but to pander to this, what was probably a very small vocal minority, I think you're getting into really dangerous territory, because The Simpsons is obviously a show that's withstood many, many, many years of people. And I think, if anything, the show kind of points out a lot of things that are wrong with, you know, I think it kind of in the beginning started as kind of almost a narrative reflecting, you know, the kind of funny societal norms that we see in everyday American culture, and kind of poking fun at that, just kind of like South Park pokes fun at all of those things. I think when you get to a point where you're calling those things outwardly racist or bigoted, then we have a problem with actually having quality shows that are really reflecting something about society. And it's the same for movies, it's the same for books, it's the same for art. It's a reflection of society. So in itself, it has value, even if it's just to teach us what is wrong and what is right. It's not like people, every time they saw a scene with Apu, were nodding their heads going, yeah, stupid Indian. Like, it wasn't like that at all. It was, I loved his character. I loved The Simpsons. I haven't watched it in years, but I grew up with it. And I just find it really scary that we're going down a road where people are just left and right blaming. And I heard a term the other day called cry bully, and it's someone that both identifies as a victim and a victimizer at the same time. So they're feeling like a victim and telling people they're being victimized, but then they're also victimizing another person or group. And it's just a very dangerous time when you start seeing things like that, because I think people are getting really kind of, it's kind of loosening the, it's not building society. It's not building a stronger society. It's teaching us that we need to look at these foundations that were built in wrongness, and we need to tear them down. And that's a dangerous thing. If you look at it structurally, if you start tearing down a house from the foundations, everything's going to cave in. So why not build on the beauty that we already have, how much progress we're making, how much progress we've made as a society? Because it's no joke. Terrible things happened in the past, absolutely horrendous things. There still is racism is alive and well, of course, and but it was way worse, and there were way many suppressed and oppressed peoples, and there still are in most other corners of the world. So I think what people are doing now is we're not talking about how much progress we made at all. We're saying we need to flatten out anything that's bad, and that's subjective. So that's dangerous to say that one thing is bad when that's a very subjective opinion. it's just dangerous. I don't know. It's a lot.
Oh, that was good stuff. Look, here, people need to understand this right now. No prep today with me and her. She rushed home so she could be on the live stream. And it's storming right now. I hope it doesn't knock my live stream out. But no prep. She rushed home so she could be here for the live stream. She joined the Google Hangout at like 1 minute till, and no prep. So she's knocking it out of the park today. So good job. Another perfect answer. Perfect answer. So thank you. It was excellent. So Tom King says, money's for geeks and gamers. Thank you, Tom King.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Nicholas Glenn said, if someone wanted to buy Geeks and Gamers, would you sell it? And if so, for how much? No, I mean, to say no, like if somebody was to offer me like $10 million, like, sure, of course I'd sell it, but it's like, because I would just take that and I would just build something else and name it something different and make it still the same thing that I've created. You know what I mean? They would be buying the brand, obviously. But I wouldn't, there's no realistic offer I could get based on the value of Geeks and Gamers, which I don't even know what the true value would be for the market. I mean, maybe a lot of times when you buy into a business or a company, you're kind of buying into the potential. And I know there's a lot of people that feel that we have a lot of potential in the future. But, like I look at Barstool, Barstool, was bought out by a bigger company, but, that Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, still has, he's still the face and he's still the leader of it and controls, a lot of it. Same with like the UFC, Dana White is not the majority owner. He's a minority owner. There are bigger people with more money. So, but he's still the president. He's still the face. So would I ever sell Geeks and Gamers outright? More than likely not. Now, the reason I only say no is just because, somebody's going to offer me like 50 times the value. I'd be a fucking idiot to say no, because I can create this thing again. If I have the capital. If I had the capital, I couldn't just start over. If I lost Geeks and Gamers today and got no monetary value on it, it would be hard to start it over again and kind of get it to the level it's at. But I would. If there was a company that wanted to come in like that did the thing with Barstool where they bought in and became someone that offered them a bigger platform with more financial options and a bigger budget, I would consider that. But I'm very, very interested in keeping every piece of control because I'm a control freak. So the only reason I'm leaving those options out there is because if there's a crazy scenario out there, I would listen. But generally speaking, it would kind of be like with J.K. Rowling. She was J.K. was negotiating with Walt Disney World to bring the Wizarding World of Harry Potter to Walt Disney World. Well, you've got two titans clashing right there. What you have is Disney, who will absolutely not let you have creative control if you come into their park, and rightfully so. They want to control every aspect of their park. But Harry Potter is a major IP. So J.K. Rowling, being the person that created it, she doesn't want to relinquish control. And so they could not come together to an agreement because she wanted to have creative control. And Disney's like, you're not having creative control if you're in our park. So they couldn't come to an agreement. You know what I mean? And so it would just have to see what the details would be, but it's a good question. It's a really good question. I appreciate that. So, all right, Jeremy Osteen. I can't read these super chats. I like to close my eyes when I'm Jeremy Osteen. Hallelujah, and hallelujah, Kelly. Thank you, Jeremy, for bringing another team member to Geeks and Gamers. Now I have a new person to scam money. I mean, donate my private jet. I mean, my fine congregation. Wamen. That was good. That was good. It's hard for me to read the super chats as Jeremy Osteen because I always have to close my eyes and wiggle my fingers, and I don't know why I do that. I don't know why. I have to do that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I don't know why that happens. So,
the spirit is possessing you.
But yeah, that was a good super chat though. And thank you, Jeremy Osteen. Thank you, Jeremy Osteen. And there's Stone Cold Jeremy. They are going off because Red Dead 2 has a male main character, and the women in it are usually housewives, and it's set in the 19th century. That's how it was. Yes, it's historically accurate. What's wrong with that? That's the same problem with Dunkirk, with Nolan, where he had, white men in it. They didn't have any diversity. Like, that's historically accurate.
Yes, that's another thing that's so frustrating. You can't change history, and it's just, I saw there was a Rolling Stone article the other day that was talking about Andrew Lincoln leaving The Walking Dead, which, Jeremy, we talked about, I haven't watched The Walking Dead since the second season, since Frank Darabont left. And they were talking about that, and then they also shamed the character in Mad Men, John Hamm's character. I should know, the Don Draper. I don't remember exactly verbatim what Rolling Stone said in the headline of the article, but they basically said another misogynist like male leaving, I'm completely paraphrasing here, but leaving a series. And in my mind, I was like, wait, I watched Mad Men. It was a very realistic portrayal of the demographics and the dynamics between people at the time. In the earlier seasons, yes, you saw a very strong suppression of women in the workforce. They had very specific roles that they played, and that was it. And they didn't break through any ceilings. And the men were womanizing. The men were constantly also drinking and smoking cigarettes, which is another very accurate portrayal of a lot of businessmen at that time. And it was a world that was portrayed as it was, but it was also, I found it to be a very liberally minded show and progressively minded show, because I think it also highlighted those things in a way that showed you this is how people were back then. And like, look at how far we've come by contrast. Even in the first few episodes, there were Black people in the workforce, but they never spoke. They didn't have a single line. They didn't have a big role. And then as the series went on, you start to see them integrated into the workforce, having larger roles in society, not just the show. So they really did it in a very realistic way. But I just know it's so funny because Rolling Stone calling it sexist, racist, I'm sure in their opinion, a lot of people would believe that it's a sexist, racist show. But in my mind, I'm like, that's what it was like back then. And all they're doing is portraying it accurately. And that in itself, how is that going to be considered racist or sexist? Are we getting to the point where now it's going to be wrong to talk about parts of our history that actually happened that we should be learning from or have already learned from, and completely reframing and redirecting what's actually to be taken from these moments of history? Anyway.
No, again, perfectly said. And look, I'm fine. I staying out of your way when you get rolling, so there's no need for me to interrupt that one. So no, it was great. I still have not seen I think I've seen like the first few episodes of Mad Men, and it didn't really connect with me, but people have told me it gets really good. So yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, so people said it's really good. So
yeah.
Let's see. Brighton says, why haven't you talked about Breaking Bad coming back? Is Breaking Bad coming back?
Breaking Bad's coming back. I'm very happy, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
How in the hell have... Brighton's spamming me with it right now. Rob says, I feel like Kelly is my spirit animal.
I feel like my spirit animal is a mix between Larry David and a cat.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. I need more details on this Breaking Bad coming back. Like, what? I
love Better Call Saul, and they're definitely leading up to a crossover point coming up soon.
You're making a movie? What?
Oh, that has to.
I gotta look this up.
That would be amazing.
It's a movie, not a show. What are you guys talking about? How?
I love Breaking Bad. One of the best series of all time. Amazing. So well done.
Breaking Bad movie is in the works. What?
I hope Vince Gilligan's doing it because
he is.
Oh, good. Okay. Directing or producing? Because those are two very different things.
This is insane.
That's great.
With no Bryan Cranston. Wait, whoa.
Oh.
What?
Oh, no.
That's a problem. Let's see.
That's a big problem.
Let's see. Vince Gilligan, creator of AMC TV series, is writing and directing a 2-hour Breaking Bad spinoff about to get underway. A person familiar with the production but not authorized to speak publicly about it confirms to USA Today. The film will begin shooting in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The setting will be for the Breaking Bad series in mid-November and extends through early February. I mean, I don't really see any details. The TV series, I'm looking. I'm kind of skimming.
Maybe it's a follow-up. Maybe Walter White is already dead, and that's why. Maybe it's Jesse Pinkman's life after.
Mirror Jeremy says, read my super chat. Okay, Jeremy, there's apparently a movie about Jesse Pinkman after the end of Breaking Bad on the run. Okay, hey. I mean, I can dig that. I can dig that. I mean, look, man, can't they bring World in Between Worlds from Rebels and bring Bryan Cranston back too? You just get Ahsoka, and Ezra. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna get into that. But I want Heisenberg, but I get it, but that's actually cool. I think that's actually cool. I'm actually excited about that. So that's pretty cool. All right, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I know you guys are laughing about that. I want Heisenberg though, but yeah, that's actually awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can't anything be left to imagination anymore? I mean, I get that, but look, man, I don't think I'm drawing a blank on his name. What's Pinkman's real life name?
I don't remember.
I can't remember his name. But I don't think his career has taken off as well as he was hoping. And this happens with a lot of TV actors. I don't know why Cranston, I don't know why Cranston's career hasn't taken off, because I think Cranston is a fantastic actor. And he has Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul's his name, yeah. But it's I don't know why. I mean, like if you go out to the Godzilla movie in 2014, it's like he wasn't even in it hardly at all. But he has such great screen presence. But yeah, Walt Jr. will be the main character. Oh God, that would be interesting right there.
Walt always eats breakfast. You ever notice that Walt was always eating? Walt Jr. was always eating or talking about breakfast.
Pancakes, yep, all the time.
Go to Cold Stone Creamery.
Darth Gabble says, Ave, true to Kelly, AVE. I don't know what he's talking about.
Ave Avenue. Ave.
Yeah.
Maybe he meant I. Yeah.
True to Kelly. So either way, we're assuming that's a compliment. Darth Gabble, you're always super awesome here. So, I'm trying to catch. Somebody said one of the NPC comments did a hashtag Jeremy for Geeks and Gamers CEO 2018. I'm working up towards it. So it's Latin. Okay, well that's one reason. Well, where's Puerto Rican Jeremy at? I haven't seen Puerto Rican Jeremy in here today throwing super chats at me. Papa. So Latin greeting. Okay. Got you. I got you guys. I'll learn something every day from all of you. We're probably going to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. So, so I think this has been an awesome live stream. I want to thank Kelly once again for making this happen. We got our times mixed up because like I said, she's new to the West Coast. So I told her, 3 p.m., my time, but we just got it mixed up. So either way, she made it happen. She made some arrangements. She made it 1 minute before we went live. And I got to say, just sincerely, this is the best live stream we've done with you, Kelly. You were great today. You've been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think everybody in the chat, give her a round of applause because she's been awesome. I'm definitely going to get some of the clips from this live stream. We're going to upload some to the Geeks and Gamers channel. And I'm going to see if she wants to upload some to her channel because there was a lot of good points made. Obviously, I'm going back to keeping the live streams unlisted now. Just it's a constant battle with the algorithm. So, but yeah, so this has been a really good one. So we got 10 minutes left. So, let's see. Everybody's congratulating you. Press 7 to praise Kelly. So,
thanks, guys.
So, and it's going to
number.
And so we're, hopefully we're going to moving forward, you're definitely going to see more content from her as time permits. And, definitely have her on more live streams with me and things like that. And, cause you guys definitely have spoken very loudly with your 50 minutes in Jeremy's world. Yes, that's what happens. Whenever I say 10 minutes, it's usually 50 minutes. But I've got to get ready for tonight's gaming show tonight. I've got to do a little prep. And, we've got that coming out tomorrow. I may go live again tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, later tonight. I'll just see what happens. We've got to get this gaming show recorded and then edited and get it ready for the upload tomorrow. And then that's going to be a weekly show. So I told you guys we're going to be bringing that to the channel. We are. I'm working on bringing a lot of content to the channel, consistent content, because you guys have asked for it. Now, as far as the gaming show goes, like I said, the gaming show will be here. I don't care if it gets 500 views, 1,500 views, or whatever. It's here. It's going to be a weekly thing. The thing is, if it gets 10, 15, 20,000 views on a consistent basis, then that will tell me we need to push more of this content out. So really, you guys control the content, you know? So we're definitely going to have the gaming show because we need more gaming content here on the channel. But the viewership and the interaction and how you guys respond is going to determine if we have more of that type of content. So let me see. Jeremy, I want to see you play Star Wars Arcade 1982. Make it happen. You remember when you see NPC Jeremy, pies are not round, pies are square. / script. Hey, you saw me with Obi-Wan 2788 and where we went into a Dave and Buster's at the Irvine, I can't remember what it's called, Irvine Square or something like that in LA, and we found the Mario Kart GP arcade GP, and we played Mario Kart, and it was awesome. And we had a lot of fun with that, and I won. I was racing one-handed, but I got the win right in the end, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. I was very confident in myself after that. John Tillette, and I think John, you're the one that sent the super chat asking for me and Kelly to talk about the Keira Knightley stuff, which we did cover here. I sent her a picture of that super chat when you sent it to me. So he said, took my Ben & Jerry's back to my local shop and complained that I found politics inside. The store assistant looked totally bummed out at me. That is great.
That's perfect. That's great.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to have to screenshot that. And
I hope you got a refund.
Twitter. That was good right there. Oh, my gosh. There we go. All right.
I've always felt that ice cream was just such an oppressive delicacy. I always felt like there needed to be more room for, you know, politics and standing up for yourself and resisting, you know.
Oh, man, it's so terrible. It's so terrible we reached this point. Oh my gosh. Herpes McDerpington, if the earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything else off.
Yeah, that's right. I love that one. Good.
Oh man, that's good. That's very good. So let's see. Morgan McGinnis says Mortal Kombat with a K. So smash the melee button if you don't mind. Lewis MX says just sub to Jedi Bunny. Awesome. That's also Irvine Spectrum. Yeah, Irvine Spectrum, Obi-Wan 27883. Okay, so it was Irvine Spectrum we were hanging out at, and we got to play some Mario Kart GP. It was awesome. So let's see. Let's see. You should do a stream video with Kelly and Jesse. That would spark some pretty interesting discussion, if you ask me. You know, Rob, that's a great idea. I can make that happen. Can make that happen.
I love that. Jesse's awesome.
Well, yeah, and see, that's why, you know, with Jesse, you know, Jesse's a fireball, you know, and I want, that's the type of personalities I'm trying to have here at Geeks and Gamers, and not just the fireballs, you know, just like everybody's got their own method for how they can get their points across, you know, and I like having that, but you have to, if I'm going to, I have to, with all of the strong personalities I'm trying to bring into Geeks and Gamers, it's going to take a strong personality to lead them. And that is who I am. And I can handle that. And I understand the dynamics of having that. And you're crazy as fuck if you think that I can control some of these people and tell them what to say and do. I can to an extent. But the point is these people are here to speak their minds and tell you exactly what they think. Nothing in Geeks and Gamers am I controlling in terms of the content or the words out of their mouth or their thoughts or anything like that. And I never will. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in telling somebody, here's what your opinion should be. Here's what your opinion should be. No, your opinion should be whatever the fuck you want it to be. If you want to get up here and talk bad about Mario Kart and Star Wars, go for it. Just be ready for the backlash. Be ready for it, you know? And that's it. That's the truth. So that's what Geeks and Gamers is building for, and it's going to be awesome. So, Kelly, got any final thoughts as we wrap this up?
Thank you for having me again. Thank you, everybody. I'm trying to look at comments, but I can't keep up with it. So I'll try to like go back retroactively and watch the comments. So, yeah. But thank you guys all for all of your support, and I'm so happy to be here and grateful, and it's pretty awesome. It's an awesome community. You're doing an awesome job, Jeremy. Seriously.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've got a bright future ahead for Geeks and Gamers, and you know, I'm very happy with everybody that we have part of the community, part of the team, and we just got to keep on keeping on, you know. And if we do that, And with all of the support that we're getting, I think that the sky's the limit. So it's going to be awesome. And John Toulette says, yes, you did cover it. Thank you both. No problem. And I'm about to screenshot your super chat about Ben and Jerry's, because that was fantastic. That was really good. So
That was good.
and let's see. Bob O'Sullivan says, come on, Kelly. He's all right, with a smiley face emoji. So, I mean, that's probably the best compliment I've ever gotten from you, O'Sullivan. That's probably the best you've ever given me. When From Hell Heart gives me a compliment, that something's in the water at that point, if From Hell Heart actually compliments me. So Brighton Terry says, I know why my dad won't let me on the live stream. He knows I would dab as soon as I come on. Yes, Brighton, son, apparently I'm your dad, but I can't deal with any dabbing on the live stream. So Talia Algol says, Geeks and Gamers, brothers and sisters from other mothers. That's right. NPC 13371307, hashtag diversity is strength, ministry of love. What? All right. Well, I'm gonna hold on for 2 more minutes so we can get the full 2 hours here. And then, like I said, I may go live again tonight. And if not, obviously I'll be back live tomorrow, and you'll be seeing more from Kelly in the very near future. Yes, the Grand Inquisitor. I did see that YouTube took down the channel of Shirako, or whatever it's called. Shirako. The guy posted a Red Dead Redemption video of beating up, an NPC. Yes, I did see it, and I'm curious about everything and how it played out, and we'll have to just pay attention. So there's our brother Ivan Ortega. Just wanted to drop and say hi to you both. What's up, Ivan? How are you, buddy?
Ivan.
Everybody's excited that Ivan's in the chat now. So I got to get Ivan and Kelly on for a live stream very soon. So we'll have to make that happen.
Yes.
So.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Ivan, you are the only editor I trust with Star Wars now. So
Twisted Image 03, love Geeks and Gamers even if you're a Bama fan. Thank you. The fact that you love Geeks and Gamers and you can overlook your hatred of Bama to appreciate Geeks and Gamers, that's true love right there. That's true love. I appreciate that. All right. So that's it. So this has been a great show. We thank you all so very much. Look for some of the snippets of the uploads from some of the amazing points that Kelly made during the show. I'll upload those to the channel. And then also we'll try to upload some over to her channel as well. Ivan says, trust me and my Russian army of non-bots. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I'll see you hopefully later tonight. If not for tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Gaming show premieres tomorrow. Look forward to it. Probably going to post that around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Other than that, we will talk to you later.